I thought I was done with Elden Ring Nightreign. I beat the game and went, cool, I have no reason to play because grinding for relics is terrible. And content-wise, I have a couple of ideas, like, yeah, you could just do different character runs, do solo runs, and there's probably something to make out of that, but my channel gets dislike botted and YouTube refuses to do anything about it, so discovery is a little hard, even if you like, comment, and share the video. But I was thinking about my review, and I left a couple of things out because I'm still playing a little bit. Not as much as initially, but if I see my friends playing, there's only 2 online and the 3rd one dropped, yeah, I'll go in for a few games. So that's why Elden Ring is still working, and I'm surprised that the concurrent viewership is also really good. I thought after the weekend, it was just going to plummet to nothing and be like, yeah, that seems about fair for Elden Ring Nightreign. Everyone played it, got their fill instantly, and they either kept grinding or they said, nah, I'll wait for an update or I don't need to play it anymore. It was kind of fun, though. And that's just because the base Elden Ring experience is so incredible. Everyone knows this. That Elden Ring is carrying Nightreign to an impossible level, a shocking, stunning level where, yeah, actually, I will just run into bosses and lose non-stop, even if it's more delayed and dragged out, because Elden Ring is fun. And every run is just a little bit different. Like, okay, I go into this camp. How fast do I clear it? How many camps are nearby? Oh, ever jail time? More farming? My loot's bad, so I need to upgrade stuff. I guess we're going into the tunnel. Day 2. Ooh, what are we doing on day 2? Is this a castle day 2, or is this a field boss day 2? And then it's just like slightly spicy enough, and maybe we win, maybe we won't. Oh, I could get a little better at this boss, maybe. Screw it, I'm just gonna hit random and try to figure it out on the fly. There's still like just so many things you can do, even though the entire time it does feel miserable on the gameplay and just keep getting pummeled. And the reward, the dopamine you're supposed to get at the end, doesn't work because your relics are terrible, terrible, terrible. Sell them, re-roll them, terrible, terrible, terrible. And I just played for 4 hours and I've made 0 progression on the permanent side. Oh, well, I'll still play tomorrow though. So yeah, it turns out Elden Ring is fun, and repeatable, run-it-backable Elden Ring is everything, and that's why the game's still kind of holding up, even though everyone complains about it just not being fun. And that's why I kind of want to just carry on a few more things I missed in my first review, such as saying, yeah, I do have to acknowledge Elden Ring core is great, and that's what makes the game work so well. But things that don't make it work that I didn't talk about. The characters. I know there's more classes coming out with DLC, but the biggest problem is that the abilities feel really underwhelming, and at the same time, they also decide the character. If you don't want to do any guarding, then you're not going to play Guardian even if you want to be support. Your weapon selection is limited, so you can't run whatever you want and be a support and just like rely on Whirlwind and Wings of Salvation. So just kind of, like, that's how it feels for a lot of the characters, where it's like, oh, I'm just, like, too restricted, and then my skills don't really matter too much, unless you're Duchess. That it makes the game feel even less fun when all of the characters are underwhelming, and then Duchess is absolutely shattered. As you might notice, I haven't even unlocked Revenant, because I don't care about that trash character, and it seems like maybe some people are coming around to Wilder, and, like, Wilder's pretty good, and then Duchess is really good, and then everyone else is, well, I like the character and the playstyle, so I'm just going to commit to it. Even though Raider is pretty good, and like the more time I put on Raider, the better the character feels, and the more opportunities I have for like skill development and skill expression. And there's probably a world where like actually if you just run 3 Raiders, you can't lose the game. And it's probably because of the Raider's stats and scaling more than anything else, because the skills feel really underwhelming most time. Like, yeah, it's really cool when you get a charged up Retaliate and you get to swing, but it goes against how the character feels. It feels like if you're charging your punch and you get hit, you should have a big punch, or the big punch should come online sooner, or have like some kind of option there. But no, mostly it's just like, oh, instead of blocking or dodging, I retaliate to soak some damage, and I do like a little oofy punch, and I guess that was kind of cool. And then if things are moving around too much, well, your big punch does nothing. And the totem, I just use it for damage and vulnerability, and I don't really notice the attack buff because it's not that great. and the game isn't dynamic enough towards like, I'm gonna give a totem to my range characters, and that's how I'm being supportive, and then we're doing cool no one jumps on my totem, and that feels underwhelming. And even if you slam an enemy with it, sometimes it doesn't stagger or knock them down hard, and that's like, okay, so I just use it to clutch out damage and vulnerability. And I think twice I've done like an incredibly meaningful knockdown on a boss with the totem. So like it does peak really high when like, oh, it clutches up big. But then other times you're just like throwing it out there because like, it's up and I might as well kind of use it. I don't see too much of another opportunity. But then your punch just kind of sucks. And that's how a lot of the characters feel, where it's like, well, the thing just like, it's kind of okay to just do a thing. And the passives are also pretty underwhelming and situational, like receive boosts after recovering from status ailments, and you have to play the frail ranger if you want to get more discovery, when there could be like a cool discovery playstyle, but it's locked behind a certain class, so that's kind of unfortunate. And also, having such sharp characters means if you just choose the wrong character and then you like roll bad loot on your run, well, dang, you just didn't get to play the game, and that feels bad, and then Duchess is just so busted it makes every other character feel irrelevant. And then a general complaint I missed in my first review is that reviving teammates sucks. Like, I understand that you can't make the third down too easy to break, or else, like, yeah, it's just infinite revives, and you can stall out a boss and ultimate abilities infinitely, but the gauge lies way too much. It shouldn't be 3 bars if the final knockdown is like 10 times the first bar, and it's just not worth reviving unless you have a Revenant ultimate ability or something. Or at the very least, like every other game, if you fill up a chunk of a bar, then it holds your progress, like if you're capturing a point. And the time that the hits start resetting is also way too short. Like, it's almost in between the windup of attacks, and if you get knocked back by an enemy or you have to like dodge once, well, they're already back to full instantly, and then there's just no point in reviving people. And even like a 2 bar can get difficult in that way. And the other really bad thing is the hit detection. That one weakness of Elden Ring is hitting low to the ground enemies that even if you have target lock on, you just whiff and miss over them, and like there's no feedback to hitting an ally or reviving an ally. So like you don't know if it's registering. Sometimes you just like miss your hits, especially for like two-handing a weapon and you swing over them and it feels really bad. It's like that's just a part that needs a fix and is really ugly. Even though like, yeah, if it's too easy or overtuned, then it trivializes the entire game, but at least make it function. And even though I said this in my first review, it just keeps on wearing on me more and more. The relic system is just terrible from being too RNG, and it's impossible to build anything you want. Because, like, it would be cool if you could at least add some consistency to your run by being able to get good relics. The problem is the pool of stats, passives, upgrades, augments, and all the other little things that you get from relics is just too large, so you never roll what you want where you want it. And then there's also no way of like guaranteeing the level 3 stones or anything, so you just get like a level 1. Okay, cool, what am I going to do with this? It feels like the idea behind this is, oh, the boss has a holy weakness. I can equip a holy weapon and holy damage at the start, and that would be unlocked through the relics in a very predictable kind of way, or at least a way where like, yeah, I played 5 games, but I was able to get permanent power I can use. Instead, I'll roll 30 relics and be like, cool, I got nothing at the end of the day. Awesome. The shop permanently having 1 random relic buy is just nonsense. Like, where's my blue relic? Where's my yellow? Where's my green guaranteed? I don't like, this needs to be dropped to 500, and then everything needs to scale off that. So like 500 for a random, 750 for any specific color, and then like 1,000 for a level 2 and 1,500 for a level 3, and at least then you might be able to roll something, and that keeps it really simple. Now if you wanted a complex relic system, I think that should also be possible. 3 smalls of the same color turns into a guaranteed level 2. At least that way you're getting back more value than just selling all of them. Have random relics that guarantee an armament effect. Have random relics that guarantee stats and all these other like little things about it. That way, I can at least feel satisfied. Like, I would play so much more if I could actually work 4 builds, and then I would probably play more characters as well, because then I feel like at least there's a bit more openness to the character. But I've just gotten like so good on Raider, and that's also I've noticed like none of my other friends, they experimented a little in the beginning, and now they only play their one thing, and you just gotta deal with it. And that's all I wanted to say. This game is awful, but it's getting carried by Elden Ring. The characters, like, they're just so underwhelming, but that doesn't make sense when you have, like, 1, maybe 2 outlier characters that are insane. Relic system's terrible. Revive system also just makes the game clunkier and frustrating. Like, that's all it is. The game is a barrage of frustration preventing you from enjoying it when you really, really want to enjoy it. I know, like, future updates and stuff and changes to the game, and the dev in an interview said he beat all of the bosses solo without relics. So instead of adding quality of life, the devs just went, suck it up, get good, we did it, yeah. And it's like, but that's not fun. I want to play some games for fun. It can still be difficult and it can be fun. What makes Elden Ring so good is that's fair. This isn't fair. I know there's going to be DLC. I'm down to play DLC and just kind of see if the game gets any better. Same thing with any kind of other updates, hard mode bosses and balance. But I just don't trust the devs to actually like make all the changes that need to be made. If they do, great. But with modern game developers, with the exception being Pocket Pair, I've given up hope on them actually like doing the right thing for the game, adding the quality of life, doing right by the gamers, and putting in like the extra systems that just make sense for the game. So yeah, that's my rant. I would do more videos if YouTube didn't suck, and I look forward to playing this awful game more when they update it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.